Have you ever wondered what makes the music of South and West Africa just so infectious, so full of life? Well, today we're not just going to talk about it, we're going to build a track, right here together. We'll be using its special musical vocabulary as our creative toolkit. Seriously, have you ever listened to a great song and just been blown away by how all the different parts snap together perfectly? And you wonder, how does that even start? Where do you begin? Well, that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to learn the key terms by actually constructing our own track, one layer at a time. And every song, no matter how big, has to start somewhere. It has to start with a foundation.
Right. Every great piece of music needs a heartbeat. It needs that central pulse that drives everything forward. That's the very first thing we have to lock in. So, let's find our beat.
So, to get that perfectly steady beat, musicians often use something called a metronome. Just imagine that steady, unwavering sound. Click, click, click. See, that's our foundation. It's like the invisible grid that's going to hold our entire song together and keep everyone perfectly in time.
Okay, a click is a decent start, but it's a little boring, right? Now we need to give that beat some life, some texture, some real energy. And for that, we turn to the engine room of our song, percussion. These are the instruments you get to shake, tap, and scrape to build a rhythm you can actually feel.
And for our track, we have got an incredible lineup. I want you to picture this. You've got the deep, resonant boom of the djembe drums, laying down the bass. Then you have the rhythmic, scratchy scrape of the griot. Then the bright, almost watery chime of the kalimba. And on top, that crisp, rattling shake of the shekere. Altogether, that's the core of our rhythm section.
So, we've got our steady beat, and our instruments are all warmed up. But, just playing on the beat, that's not really a groove, is it? So now we're going to start weaving these sounds together into something complex, something that really makes you want to move.
So first, we'll start with what's called an ostinato. You can think of it like the musical DNA of our rhythm. It's this short, catchy, repeating pattern that just locks you in and gets totally stuck in your head. It's the hook.
Okay, now this is where the real magic happens. We start adding polyrhythms. So our djembe is holding down that main ostinato, right? But now the shekere comes in over the top with a completely different, faster pattern. And then the griot adds a third, scraping right against both of them. It's this incredibly rich, layered conversation of rhythms, all happening at the exact same time.
Now to give our groove that special spark, that little bounce that makes it infectious, we add syncopation. So instead of playing squarely on the main beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, we start hitting the notes in between the beats. The ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It just creates this amazing rhythmic tension and surprise that literally makes you want to dance.
But here's something you might not think about. Rhythm isn't just about the notes you play. It's also, crucially, about the notes you don't play. That's called a rest, a moment of intentional silence. It creates tension, it adds definition, and it makes the beats that come right after it feel even more powerful. That little bit of space can make all the difference. Okay, our groove is undeniable at this point. We have this complex, layered beat that you can feel in your bones. But a song, it needs more than just rhythm. It needs emotion. So now it's time to start painting with sound, to add the color and the feeling that's going to tell our song's story.
And we build that emotion using chords. A chord is really simple. It's just 2 or more notes played at the same time to create a harmony. You can really think of them as the emotional building blocks for our entire song.
And this shows you just how powerful chords are. You basically have 2 main flavors. You've got major chords, which, as you can see, often sound really bright, maybe triumphant or happy. And then you have minor chords, which tend to feel more somber, maybe a little more reflective or even sad. So is our song going to be joyful or is it going to be thoughtful? The chords we choose will decide.
Of course, a song doesn't just sit on one chord the whole time. It moves through a specific sequence of them, and that's called a chord progression. This progression is like a story arc for your ears, guiding the listener's emotions from one moment to the next, creating a whole musical journey.
All right, our song's got a powerful rhythm and a really clear emotional direction. But music is almost never a monologue. It's a conversation. So let's look at how our different musical parts can actually start talking to each other.
A classic way to get this conversation going is with call and response. And it is exactly what it sounds like. Imagine the lead djembe player throws down a short, powerful phrase. That's the call. And then boom, the rest of the percussion section answers back with a unified response. It's interactive, it's super engaging, and it pulls you, the listener, right into the middle of the performance. So who's having this musical chat? Well, sometimes it's a soloist, one single musician stepping into the spotlight to tell their part of the story. And other times, it's a duo, two performers weaving their melodies together in this intricate back-and-forth partnership.
But sometimes you can just strip everything else away. With a cappella, the most personal instrument there is, the human voice, is all you need. The singers themselves create the rhythm, the harmony, the melody, everything, all on their own. It creates this raw, powerful, and just deeply human sound.
So there we have it. We've actually built our song from the ground up. It's got a beat, a complex groove, harmony, a conversation happening between all the parts. Now for the final question. What does it take to actually perform this piece, to bring it to life in front of an audience?
First thing, and this is so important to remember, this music is made for movement. In South and West Africa, music and dance are totally inseparable. The performance isn't just something you listen to, it's something you feel in your whole body. It's an expression of the rhythm that just has to be physical.
And to make that performance truly great, you can just remember this simple acronym, FACE. First up is F for fluency, being able to play with this smooth, effortless confidence, with no hesitation at all. A is for accuracy, hitting all the right notes every single time. C is for control, completely mastering your instrument or your voice to create the exact sound you're going for. And finally, and maybe most importantly, E is for expression, pouring your own feeling, your own personality into the music. That's what really connects with an audience. That's what makes a performance unforgettable.
So there you go. Polyrhythm, syncopation, call and response, major and minor chords. These aren't just some abstract words from a textbook. They are tools. They are the language you use to create. We've given you the vocabulary, so the only question left is, what musical story are you going to tell?